Okay, come here. Hey everybody. Oh, wait. Just want you to say hi to Patch. Hi, BB. Hi. Okay, so I'm just trying to bring you up to date. We're going to try to close out the month of May in this video, starting with planting corn in the lower garden, and we're going to move on to my first bonfire, and we end the month over Memorial Day weekend, where I get together with new friends and see old cars. So a lot happened in the last part of May, so please watch, and I'll see you in a minute. Hey everybody, so you've seen a previous video where I reviewed this hoe that I got from Haas Tools, this weeding hoe, and I just want to show you the difference. These are my onions. A lot of them got washed out, but I have just been weeding for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and look at all the weeds that have come up where I tilled. So I don't think I can outrun the sun and get all that done. And the more important thing is to get the cabbages, this tray of cabbages in. So this has been languishing, and I'm gonna surround them with a few marigolds. All right, I'm gonna pop them into the empty spots because this is already tilled and fertilized and mounded up and everything. So hoping to just kind of squeeze them all in these empty spots. Okay, I'm showing you my progress. The whole onion bed is weeded, and in every space I have laid out a cabbage with a row of marigolds at the back end. Right now I'm trying to get these popped in before the sun hits it. I was just heading back to the barn, but I stopped to take a picture of this gigamundo. It's called a cow thistle, spiny cow thistle. You cannot pull that out with your naked hand. That is way too sharp. And I just looked over here. Now, what does this remind you of? This is the clover that did not get cut, and the blooms were gone really a week after the rest of it was mowed. What does that look like to you? That looks like to me, you know, when cows bed down in a big field of tall grass at night and it flattens the grass out. I'm just wondering if the deer bedded down in this last night, because what else would have done that? Nothing. Actually, let's just walk over to the other strip and see. You can see I really worked hard tilling this. That is not wind, my friends. That's an animal laying down on it at night. Look at that. Two there, and look over here. Yeah. Wow. Look at that. It must have been a convention. Well, my plan was to weed whack that all down tonight. I mean, it's only going to cool off at sunset, so we'll see. These walkways were wet when I uncovered them. Well, that one I uncovered at 8 o'clock. This one I just uncovered and they're dry, almost dry. I'm making mounds. The mounds are a little rough, and I'm going to add a strip of compost to the top of the mound. And you'll see I'm kind of doing a permaculture berm and swale here, because I've built up the ends so that, and there's a little bit of slope here, so the water will rush down here and stop and not run off down into the culvert over there, at least until some of it soaks into the roots. So that's my plan. I've never done this before. This will be a walkway here, and then the electric fence will go right along here when we get it all the way around. Right now it's just around the 15 by 50 where I have some onions and cabbages and marigolds at the top and a lot of weeds at the bottom. Even though I've tilled that numerous times, it's loaded with weeds again already. So that's why it's so important to get this planted. So I'm pretty excited that I managed to create these mounds this morning, just myself with a shovel, and kind of ran out of steam. I need to do 3 more right here, but I thought, let me change it up a little bit, do a different task, and maybe my body will be ready to get back at that before it gets too hot. Good morning, everyone. I just want to show you what a nice, well-tended, manicured garden looks like. And when you don't keep the weeds down, this is what it looks like. Look at all of that has come back in just about 3 weeks. So if you saw my favorite hoe video, I'm using this. Literally, it's like you're mopping the floor. But I'm not going to get it all done because it's going to get really hot. So just going to get started on it today. So I am jumping ahead and wetting the top crest of the 5 rows that are set to plant for corn. And I'm not waiting for the rain. I managed to hook up a hose going all the way up to my cistern and get the seed in, and that's what I'm doing. My method is the same as for the beans. I'm just gonna, in this case, I'm gonna take the shovel and just make a slice all the way down. I'm just gonna stick the shovel in, wiggle it, make a little V in the top, drop in my fertilizer and my seeds, and then by hand just press it back together. You've seen me do that before. Here we go. Okay, everybody, I have got my V groove in here. Nice and wet. I'm going to drop in some fertilizer and the seeds. I'm going to plant 2 seeds every 6 inches. This is C90 or something. It's from Haas. The kernels were really huge, and I thought, okay, let's do that. And then if I run out of that, then I'm going into the Thomas Jefferson. This is an heirloom corn for grinding, and both have been inoculated in Myco-Gro in the bag. Oh man, it's hot. But look at that. Let me get a little farther away so you can see. 5 rows. I know it's not much because look how much more I have to do. And it really all should be done the same way, because if you mound things up, it's easier to walk in between and it's easier to weed. But I don't know if I'll be able to do that. It's a lot of work doing the mounding because I did it all by hand and a shovel. So that's all for today. For those new to my channel, This gives you some perspective about where I was just working. Those are the rows right in the middle, right in there. And now I'm up by the house. They still look wet, but they won't for long. So you've never seen my sunroom with no plants in it. And I just got it all cleaned. I cleaned the floor, I cleaned the windowsill, and I cleaned the dirt off the door, and I organized all of my wood because fires are, actually it feels like we need a fire today, it's cold. But I organized all of my kindling for next fall, and I cleaned off the deck, and I brought all of my indoor plants outside to get some rain. Now, some of these will stay outside for the summer, except during storms, and some will come back in. But that was a huge job. Wow. Look at these weeds that have exploded here by the road. They're actually gorgeous. Look at that. But I just ID'd it and it says poison hemlock. So, and behind that is the small leaf flowered cup, which I have everywhere. And then over here, I've got that spiny thistle. But the flowers are amazing. They look like artichokes. This mullein plant. This is incredible. Enormous. Can't wait for that to bloom. I have so many wild and wonderful plants down here. But, oh, and this is black locust over here. Got a lot of that. That makes great fence posts. But, just bushes right now. But all of this wild growth just, it looks bad from the road. Looks all overgrown, like, not taking care of things. And then here we have the brush pile that I can't seem to get rid of. It's too wet to burn now, and it's too close to this pine tree, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, I got this huge spider here, and it's got 5 legs. And here's the perspective. Except we don't want you to look in there. Go the other way. Go back the other way. Go back. It was in the, you think it was in the wall?
It must have been, or under that, could have been under that threshold.
Yeah, it is big. Group effort managed to get the big brush pile cleared off from this location. Had to do a lot of chainsaw cutting and getting the pieces smaller, and then the main fire started up there. It got a little hot, so we started adding here, and then we added here. So all that needs to be fed into the fire. I'm gonna go get a rake and rake up the rest of these small pieces. Getting there. It's looking pretty good here. Water is just gushing down that walkway. And if you can see this one mound of beans that I got planted here, they've all sprouted up. And on the other side of that is a huge trough of water. More rain. The good thing is, hopefully the cistern will get filled up and hopefully the water will stay in it. I finally got my rain gauge put up, and I said I want to see it from inside. And you can see the orange red disc coming almost up to the 1. Good morning, everyone. I am heading down to the lower garden. I have so much planting to do. It's not even funny. So I've got some, got my row setter here. This is Haas Tools. I've got a hoe and a rake and a shovel, and I'm going to set some rows by hand and try to get some purple hull peas or corn planted before 11 o'clock when it's too hot to work. I needed to have gotten down here 2 hours earlier, but I didn't, so I was tired and I stayed in bed. I shouldn't have. Anyway, I've got these rows marked. This is just a double pass with the row setter. I set one row and then I double over each of the other rows to get it a little deeper. And for the corn, then I'm making a mound right on top of that. So that's where all the hard work is. I'm not going to do that with the peas, but corn needs a lot of, you know, the roots kind of come up in a mound and they need a lot of support and a lot of compost. And so, as you can see, I've got these 5 rows I did the other day. I watered last night because it's going to be a hot day. And I've got just a few little corns coming up. You can see right there. That's from the other day. So the way I'm doing this is by hand with a shovel. This shovel. I build up each side of the mound. So now I have to go down this side and build up, and I'll scoop all of that dirt up and I'll put it right on top of that groove. And I'll just keep going down. And my goal is to get these 4 rows done and planted before it's just incredibly too hot. I'm dripping with sweat, it's hot. But I got the 3 additional rows mounded. These 2 are watered, fertilizer put in. Looks like I got a little crooked down there on the end, doesn't it? Taking water from my cistern through a hose down here. There we go. And that's the best that I can do for now. So the seeds are just about to go in. These are very interesting. These are Thomas Jefferson heirloom corn seeds. And it's a long corn that you can grind for white corn flour. But if you harvest it early, it's as good as any sweet corn. And this was given to me by my friend Tim Hobbs, who will grind it if I get any. I will. And I got these in 2020. He sent them to me for last year and they didn't get planted. So I'm going to do 2 seeds every 6 inches. I just had enough of the Thomas Jefferson for these 2 rows. So they are in the trench. And I watered them in and the fertilizer soaked in. And now I am packing that groove with 1 inch of wet compost, pure compost. And I'm hoping that gets them off to a quick start since I'm running late. And I'm deciding on what to put in that far row. It's ready to plant. You see all this organic matter in here. This is all chopped up clover. So this is going to provide a lot of good drainage and organic matter breaking down for the corn. I'm just going to push these down a little bit so they're nice and secure. I noticed the other day a few of them popped up when I finished and they were watered. We don't want that. We want our corn seed to be 1 inch below the surface. This is really good soil, so I don't need to use that much compost. And then my compost got rained on in this bucket, and so I'm just using soaking wet compost because if you look over here, I watered those 5 rows this morning and look, they're already dry. It's a big job. I mean, they have to clean their whole body every day with their tongue. Can you imagine? Licking your whole body with your tongue all day. Oh, I just wanted to point out, look. This is a moringa, and I have tried several times to start moringa here. It has not been successful thus far. And I noticed that I have purslane as well as some grass seed coming up in here. Purslane, some people consider to be a weed, but it's really very nutritious. But I'm just hoping I can keep this moringa alive. Thanks so much for watching this channel and liking the videos, sharing them with your friends, helping the channel grow. That's really important. And so now, come here, I gotcha. There we go. There we go. There's Patch. Isn't she pretty? Okay, she's all clean. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. I hope you subscribe if you haven't already. Scroll down and click all so you won't miss all the action right here on the homestead. And I'm Kay, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Don't be picking on your sister. Come here, Spot. Come here. Oh, you haven't seen him in a while. He weighs a ton. Look at that monster. Wow. I am going to do some exercises with you and strengthen my upper body. Yes. He's such a good boy. Oh, goodness. All right, now I have to go clean everything from poison ivy. They've rubbed against my legs and everything. Thank you so much for watching.